my live capabilities going again. So thought I'd just jump on very quickly at the end of this Savannah Marshall and Hannah Rankin middleweight title fight. W for the WBO title. Wow, I'm impressed by Marshall, man. She's long. She definitely can box. She can attack. She's nasty. Um, nice upper body movement. She jabs well. She's sound defensively. A hell of a performance, man. It ended in seven. It ended at the seventh round, just with like a second to go. Hannah Rankin backed away and took a knee. The referee stepped in. He probably could have called it earlier. He maybe even could have called it in the sixth round. Her Hannah Rankin's corner could have stopped it. But it was one sided, man. Now I know immediately even the commentators are already talking about comparing Savannah Marshall to Claressa Shields. The good thing here is that it looks like Claressa Shields might have a very live opponent. Not right away, but maybe in a fight or two, they could put that together. She definitely can fight, man. She's like I said, she's long. She can box. She can bang a little bit, and show me some things that I really haven't seen from Claressa Shields per se. But the thing is this: it'll come down to how Savannah Marshall does this stuff against what Shields does, because Shields can box. We all know that Shields doesn't necessarily have great power, but she can box her ass off. She's equally sharp defensively as what I just saw from Savannah Marshall. It's a good rivalry. The interesting thing is that Claressa Shields, her fight with Marie Dicaire, or however you pronounce her last name, that hasn't happened yet or hasn't been scheduled by Showtime. That's I want to say that's a unified 154-pound title fight. Obviously, this right here is at middleweight. It will be at middleweight, I presume. But that's a good fight, man. I think they should probably, if COVID and whatever budget, the scheduling or whatever, if it falls through and they can't get it done before the end of the year, which it doesn't look like it can get done, Salida Promotions and Claressa Shields should probably move off of that fight and try to fight Savannah Marshall. I mean, if they want to make it happen, if Eddie Hearn is interested in making it happen, that's the fight that they should go to next. Off of this performance right here against a mutual opponent who Claressa went the distance with. Now Claressa dominated Hannah Rankin. I believe that's the fight that she had in Mulvane, Kansas, I want to say, on the zone. She dominated Hannah Rankin, but Savannah Marshall just took her apart and forced her into a stoppage. So, but that was what, a year and a half ago or something. But like I said, it's a hell of a fight. One thing that I'm seeing right now, the women are continuing to put up compelling bouts during this. In the last couple of months, as we've been having the different events with the women on the schedule, I think some of the women's fights have been some of the more exciting fights on some of these cards. And it's definitely raising the profile of the women's game. I know a lot of fellas don't care for the women, for women's boxing, but it is a way, as the field, as we start getting more candidates, more bodies in the rankings, and we'll see Michaela Mayer and Iwa Brosnishka tonight. We'll see how that turns out. Last night with Marlene Esparza, and yeah, that's what I was just saying. With Marlene Esparza and Salim Urbina, I'm sorry. That was a good fight. So the women are putting up good fights, man, and fights can actually get made. The best have to fight the best on the women's side, because one is not as deep a pool of talent, and then they're trying to get their respect as collectively, so they're fighting one another. But this fight right here, man, I'm anxious to see more of Savannah Marshall. She was relaxed. Yeah, I agree, JD80. I think I just said before you came on, I think I don't know what's going on with this fight with Claressa Shields that they were trying to make with the super welterweight champion out of Canada. But if they don't get that done, if there's no way to make that happen, they should move off of that fight and look to make this fight immediately. I don't know if it can happen. It definitely couldn't happen before the end of 2020, but early in 2021, easy decision. Easy decision that they should make that fight. And I think, I don't know if they would want to do it over here in the States. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself because I'm damn sure not a promoter or a matchmaker or whatever. But it would be interesting to see whether or not they try to do that over in the UK or try to do it over here. I know Showtime, DAZN. I would imagine DAZN could get that fight. And I would imagine that after this performance right here, I foresee Eddie Hearn trying to be vocal about making that fight. And obviously right now, Showtime can't put anything together for Claressa Shields. So it seemed like that should be the fight to get made. I would be extremely excited about that fight. I think it really moves forward women's boxing, raises the profile for it immediately and significantly. So I think that'd be the move. Other than that, man, that was a hell of a performance. They will both be millionaires. I don't know about all of that. I mean, I'm not trying to count their money. Honestly, I think that's the best fight that both of them can make. And actually, Savannah Marshall was on the Akin Barak show earlier this week, and she said she was offered the Claressa Shields fight 2 years ago. And she said the reason why she didn't take it was because she wasn't in a good position business-wise, and she couldn't command the type of money that she thought that fight was worth. So now being with Eddie Hearn and DAZN and whatnot, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. I mean, is it $1 million fight? Like I said, I don't know, man. I don't cut checks for fighters. So, but it's the most lucrative fight that can be made, in my opinion. They definitely can sell the rivalry. Savannah Marshall's corner just said they just made a couple of strong statements into the camera at the end of the fight, talking about she's the best middleweight in the world, which isn't a hateful statement. I mean, which isn't totally out of pocket right now, because from super welterweight, actually from welterweight on up is kind of thin. I mean, when you get to super welterweight, there's only Claressa Shields most likely. You get to middleweight, Claressa Shields was there. So now I would have to agree that she probably is top 1 to top 2, top 3 at middleweight. No real BS in that statement whatsoever. And then at super middleweight, I mean, you have obviously you have Franchon Cruz, who I just saw has a fight coming up, I believe, on the Ryan Garcia card, maybe. But that's a hell of an event, man. I think they should get that together immediately. And like I said, they can sell the rivalry going back to the Olympic situation or whenever they met in the amateurs. We all know that Marshall has the win over Claressa. I think that's the only fight she's lost. Claressa is a monster of a fighter, but Savannah has the skills to potentially match her in the ring. Exciting fighting, good for the sport. 3,000%. I can't disagree with anything you just said. Like I said, Claressa has her skill set. She does her thing. She ran through Christina Hammer, had no problem with her whatsoever, had very few problems with her DAZN. Finally got a knockdown with that body shot and whatnot. So Claressa does her thing. Now, like I said, the thing is how they look facing each other. And I don't know, Claressa's been inactive for a while, so would she try to get another fight in before they met? That might not be a bad idea, but I'm guessing if they tried to if they offered the fight and the money was right, the business was right, I'm guessing she'd take it. And again, that wouldn't be till 2021. So, but I'm excited, man, because she needed an opponent. I mean, this lady, from no disrespect to the champion from from Canada, but that really wasn't the fight that we wanted to see. The Rachel Pretty Beast out in Oakland. I don't know if we, and I missed that one. I don't know if we really want to see that one either, to be honest. But this fight is bigger than that. This fight is way bigger than that, in my opinion. So, like I said, man, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Hearn is a pretty ambitious dude. DAZN needs some great. They need some great fights on the schedule. So that should be something that's pursued. I mean, they should start talking immediately. I don't think Salita Promotions and Dimitri Salita can really provide anything bigger than that. So they should make that happen. I think it's a 50-50. I can't even pick a winner right now. After what I just watched, I think that's a 50-50 fight. And Claressa is strong, though. She might steam. She could. You know, she could. Like I said, man, it's really premature. I mean, Hannah Rankin is, what is she? She's like a cellist or something. She plays some instrument, like, professionally. She put up a good effort, man. She was tough. She could have backed away. She could have ran. She continued to try to attack, even when she saw that her skills didn't match up with Marshall. Marshall was fighting comfortably, relaxed, setting up double uppercuts, going to the body well, working up and down. I mean, that was a great performance. But yeah, Hannah Rankin is, you know, I think she sparred with Claressa Shields. I'm interested. I'm off of social media, but I'd be interested to even get back on social media and see what Claressa Shields had to say about this performance. I might Google something and see if I can see what I know she had to drop a tweet, but that's the best fight for Claressa Shields right now. That's the best fight for women's boxing, in my opinion. Need to make that happen ASAP. I know right now with COVID, you know, live crowds and whatnot, or having a crowd at an event is not some states in America, some states are letting that happen. We know the fight tonight, down the pay-per-view tonight with Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. They're having 10%, 25% or something at the Alamodome or whatever. So whatever. It's worth them taking the time to sit down and hash that out and make that happen. And I would imagine that, especially on the DAZN's radio show that comes on Sirius XM, I would imagine that Savannah Marshall was on there this week, and I would imagine that Claressa Shields is on there this week, and that they start chatting. The chatter starts to make that happen. They start talking trash and selling that fight and getting it going. And I think Hannah Rankin went the distance. That's correct. They are hiding an amateur fight. Yeah, that's funny that you can't find that. I think they are building for a mega fight between them all. But yeah, like I said, it's that fight makes itself up the pool. Yeah, that fight makes itself, and I think Savannah Marshall would be the fight or the fighter, the opponent, to not back down from her. The way that Christina Hammer kind of wilted, I was very disappointed with her. Again, but you know, you can talk all the stuff that you want to talk and believe what you want to believe before you get in the ring with the person. But once you standing, you know, a couple of feet from a person and you're seeing the rhythm that they fight in, the quickness, the speed, the footwork, the upper body movement and all of that stuff, Christina Hammer looked like a deer in headlights, in my opinion. And I was just very shocked. You know, I don't think she won a round. The Helbazin fight from the rip, that was worthless. But I think Savannah Marshall, I think and that's what I just was really impressed with, that Savannah Marshall fight. If you look at the fight last night that was on DAZN, Urbina and Esparza, Urbina was like fighting frantically, in my opinion. She was letting the 2-minute thing influence her, how she fought. and she looked bad the first several rounds. But what I saw right here, and I've only seen a couple other females do it, it's a way to fight in that 2 minutes without rushing. You know how in football they say be quick but don't rush, or be fast but don't rush. There's a way to fight in that 2 minute round and show your class and show your skills. And I think last night in that fight, Salim Urbina, she was fighting too quickly and got into a fight that she really couldn't win. And I think that's what that's also something that I saw in Katie Taylor in that rematch with Delphine Persoon. She didn't let Delphine speed her up. She didn't let the 2 minute thing speed her up. She still fought a very classy fight and made sure that she showed some separation between her and Persoon, who was all effort, all energy, you know, high work rate, so on and so forth. But to her credit, Katie Taylor sat there and boxed. She set traps. She moved well. She dictated. She fought off the back foot well. Like I said, that 2 minute, it can be messy because it takes away. You gotta, you know, I don't know. It's hard to even. It's hard to watch that 2 minute fight. Natasha Jonas and Terry Harper, they fought pretty well. I really thought their match was really, really clean. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. Like I said, I hope there's a lot of chatter moving forward. I'm getting ready to jump on off of here because Kambosos Jr. and Selby is getting ready to start. But yeah, man, I saw I saw an interesting figure. You know, it's a great story that can develop starting tonight. I mean, like I said, in between this fight and the main event with Chisora and Usyk, I might jump online and see what's going on because that was a pretty that was a phenomenal victory, and I wasn't expecting that. But I'm a fan of Savannah Marshall, so she got a nice game, and that's the thing. You know, we didn't really see her take too many shots, but she was sound defensively. She used her height well. She all right. She all right. So let me get on off of here, man. Enjoy the rest of the fights. You know, you got Usyk coming up with Chisora. I think that's going to be a pretty good fight. I think we're going to learn what we want to learn. You know, those of us that are interested in seeing what Usyk can do at the heavyweight level, I think we'll learn quite a bit about that tonight. I want to see how his power impacts Chisora, and I want to see if Chisora can, you know, force some moments where he can really test Usyk's chin. And the thing is, well, I won't even go into all of that right now. I'll talk about that later. But also tonight, ESPN Plus with Inoue and Maloney. I'm expecting, I think the card is going to be good. Like I said, I want to see what Mayer does against Broshnika, even though Broshnika wasn't able to make weight and lost her title. That takes away from that a little bit. But Mayer is a pretty technically sound fighter. I really like what she does, and I think she could be. Well, I mean, like I said, it's kind of, it takes away from the moment that Broshnika can't win, you know, can't retain her title. But anyway, I think that's going to be a solid card. And for those of y'all that are purchasing the Tank and Leo fight, Santa Cruz, I think you know, Santa Cruz is going to do. I think he's going to be all right if he can get through the first 4 or 5 rounds. You know, not taking too many big shots. The one thing that I'm concerned with about him is that's kind of, we haven't seen him have to operate. Has been in camp a little bit too long. You know, how much time was spent losing weight, so on and so forth. So anyway, let me jump on off of here, man. Thanks for everybody that checked in. I appreciate those. Handful of likes. Enjoy the rest of the night, man. My name is Wood. Bite down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Y'all take care. Peace.